I was still in high school when I started doing deliveries. Not the fun kind where you hand someone a pizza and they tip you $5 because you made it before the commercials ended. I worked for a local courier company that handled last-mile stuff that big carriers didn't want to deal with: small medical shipments, legal envelopes, and the occasional signature-required box that somebody paid extra to keep out of a warehouse. It was a lot of driving, a lot of dead phone batteries, and a lot of pretending I wasn't too nervous knocking on strangers' doors at night. My boss liked to say, "You're not a kid, you're a professional." Which was easy for him to say, sitting behind a desk with a coffee, while I was the one walking up dark porches and listening to dogs throw themselves at doors. That night started normal. Too normal. I clocked in after school, grabbed the van keys, scanned my route sheet, and loaded the last few packages off the metal rack in the back. The warehouse smelled like tape and cardboard and exhaust. Someone's radio was playing softly in the office. Everything was routine. Then the office lady called me over. She didn't say my name, just crooked a finger like she didn't want to talk in front of anyone. "Last stop," she said, handing me a clipboard. "Signature required. Do not leave unattended." I looked at the address and my stomach did that little drop it does when something feels off before you can explain why. It wasn't the street name. It was the lack of everything else. No unit. No gate code. No notes. Just an address and a blank space where delivery instructions usually lived. "Where is this?" I asked. She shrugged. "Out by the lake. Past the old logging road. GPS should take you." "Why would someone need a courier for a cabin?" I asked, half joking. She didn't laugh. "Just deliver it. Get the signature. Come back." The box itself was plain. Medium size. Heavy for its size, but not crazy. No branding. No fragile. Nothing that screamed hazmat or medical. Just a printed label with the same address and a weird little sticker in the corner that said, "Recorded delivery, do not deviate." I'd never seen that sticker before. I scanned it. My handheld beeped once, then again, like it lagged. The screen flashed confirmed and then, for a fraction of a second, in process like it was thinking. Then it went back to normal. I told myself it was just the scanner being old. I drove out as the sun dropped behind the trees. The van's headlights carved tunnels through the road, and my playlist kept skipping like the Bluetooth connection was annoyed. The closer I got, the worse the route became. Paved road turned into cracked asphalt, then into gravel, then into a dirt track with puddles that reflected my headlights like flat black mirrors. There were no other cars. No mailboxes. No streetlights. The kind of place where the trees lean toward you like they're trying to listen. My GPS tried, at first. It gave confident little instructions in its cheerful voice. Then, about 10 minutes down the logging road, it stopped showing street names and started showing nothing but a blue dot floating in green. Continue for 4.2 miles. No turns. No landmarks. Just continue. I muttered to myself, this is stupid, and kept going anyway because that's what you do when you're young and trying to prove you're not scared. Around mile 3, my phone lost service completely. Not one bar. Not even that sad SOS thing. I didn't T like that, but it wasn't T impossible. A lot of the area was dead zones. What I didn't T like was the quiet. The longer I drove, the less I heard. No distant traffic. No occasional airplane. Not even those random nighttime bird calls that usually make you jump. It wasn't T silent. It was held. Like the woods were waiting. Then, finally, headlights hit a shape ahead. A cabin. Not a nice rental cabin. Not a cozy porch and wind chimes cabin. A square, old-looking cabin with weathered wood and one porch light that buzzed like a trapped insect. It sat back from the track behind a line of trees, like it didn't want to be seen. And it was far from the road. Not long driveway far. Why would anyone do this to themselves far? I parked where the dirt widened enough to fit the van and killed the engine. The sudden quiet made my ears ring. I sat there for a second, looking at the cabin. No lights in the windows. Just the porch bulb. No movement. I grabbed the box and the clipboard, and I walked up the path. The ground was uneven. Roots under dirt, loose stones. The air had that lake smell, wet and cold and metallic, but the lake itself wasn't visible. Halfway up, I had the thought, if I trip and break my ankle out here, no one finds me until morning. I laughed under my breath because it sounded dramatic. Then I reached the porch. The front door was open. Not cracked. Open. Like somebody forgot. The porch light buzzed and flickered, and every time it flickered, the inside of the cabin changed shape in the doorway shadow. A chair. A wall. A hallway. Hello. I called, trying to sound normal. No answer. I shifted the box in my arms and stepped closer. Right inside the door, taped to the wall at eye level, there was a piece of cardboard with thick black marker writing. Delivery kid, I am in the basement. Come down. Below that, in smaller letters, Don T. Leave it upstairs. Signature required, right? My throat went dry. That was a weird amount of attitude for a sign. I stood there for a second debating, because every part of my brain was telling me, absolutely not. But I also had a policy drilled into me by a boss who loved rules more than people. Signature required means signature required. And the handheld scanner logs every attempt. If you mark customer unavailable and bail, the office sees it, you get grilled, and you don't get trusted with the good routes anymore. It's dumb, but when you're trying to keep a job, dumb rules start feeling like laws. So I did the stupid thing. I stepped inside. The cabin smelled stale, like cold wood and old smoke. The floorboards creaked under my shoes like the building was clearing its throat. There was a narrow hallway to the right. A living room to the left with furniture covered in sheets. The air was colder inside than outside. At the end of the hallway was a basement door. Half open. dark beyond. And taped to the door, another sign, yes, this is the basement. Yes, it's weird. Keep going. A sarcastic laugh bubbled up in my chest, the kind you do when you're nervous and don't want to admit it. Okay, I muttered. Okay. Quick in and out. Signature and done. I pushed the basement door open the rest of the way. Cold air spilled up the stairs like a sigh. The steps creaked under my weight as I went down. I kept one hand on the railing. The other arm hugged the box tight to my chest like it could protect me. At the bottom, there was a concrete floor and a single fluorescent light that buzzed. The light was the kind that makes everything look sick. A corridor stretched ahead. Not a typical basement with storage shelves and a furnace. A corridor. Long, straight, narrow, like someone had carved a hallway out of a basement and didn't want you to think too hard about it. And on both sides of that corridor pictures. Dozens of pictures. All of me. My face went hot. I took a step forward without meaning to, like I could walk closer and prove it wasn't real. The first photo was me in my uniform hoodie, standing by the van door at the warehouse. Taken from across the lot. The next was me at a gas station earlier that day, leaning against the counter with an energy drink. My face turned slightly like I felt someone watching. The next was me at school. Outside. By the bike rack. That one made my stomach flip because the angle was higher, like from a second-story window. More pictures ran down the corridor, taped in a neat line like an exhibit. Me laughing with my friend in the cafeteria. Me leaving my house. Me in my room, Lou.